sounds way too corny, but I do like it. Today I'm sitting here with a fellow traveler on this winding road we all call life. His name is Alex, and I would like you to introduce yourself to me. Well, you don't have to introduce yourself to me, but to the audience, give them like a quick snap on who you are, and we talked about the I and who am I, so let's not dive too deep at the beginning, but give a nice zesty introduction of yourself as a first difficult task.
Yeah, because you're asking me who I am, and it's just there is a history to this, but yeah, no, I'm Alex, been in New Zealand for just over 2.5 years now, here on a working holiday, and yeah. What else do you want to know?
What is your greatest character trait? When you have to use yourself, what is your greatest strength?
I'd say adaptation. Getting in, when just learning, jumping into a new situation and trying to figure out the ropes. I don't know.
I like it. Adaptability is a very unique talent that you especially need to possess when you're traveling, to be able to adapt to all the different situations that
Yeah,
might
it's
arise.
like you're faced with new cultures, even new languages that you don't know, but you are now in this new space and you're a visitor, so you have to be respectful of these things, even if they seem outlandish to you. They would be normal. It would be normal practice in day-to-day life for some folks.
Or in Nepal, I made some interesting experiences where I was in those situations where it was for me baffling, and for them it was normal part of the tradition. Do you have a good example where you were okay, there I really adapted very well, or I got good into this situation?
Well, no, not any one situation in particular, because I had quite an international background. I grew up across 3 continents, so just having to figure out what's culturally acceptable in certain places might not be so in others. But then, for example, in Uganda, just so easy just to walk around barefoot. In Western cultures, that's a little bit weird. England, you wouldn't want to do that. America, kind of depends where. But then coming to New Zealand, it's who needs shoes?
Yeah, fucking hell. I think what was one of the first things that I was told to is we don't wear shoes. Usually we just go wherever we want barefoot, no one cares, or with thongs. I love the word thongs for flip-flops.
Oh, that's
but it's more
Australian,
yeah.
Get the sandals on.
Yeah. Oh, do you know Houseos, the series? It's this really bad TV shows, and they always wear thongs and use the word thongs, and it just stuck into my brain.
Nah.
It's a really bad TV show, but when you want to have some fun, have some good laughs,
I'll check it out.
It's worth it. And I think it's even on YouTube. You can
nice.
watch it there. Maybe we can watch it tonight.
Yeah, just fling it later.
Yeah, sweet ass. Alright, let's get back to the interview. I think that's the issue with me, that I'm always getting lost. Alright, my first core question. What sparked your journey the moment you knew you had to leave something behind or start something new?
Well, I was in the States working 2 jobs, terribly burnt out, and realised I needed a change of scenery to get away from where I was. So it was a bit of running from and running towards something else. It's a new way of life, eh?
Yeah, would you more say that it was running towards something, or was it really 50-50 mix?
It was a solid 50-50, because I knew it wouldn't have been healthy for me to stay where I was. I was not happy there, and so I needed to run away from there to something else. And just as traveling goes, you start off with a travel partner, things happen down the line, and then that's the joy of traveling, is having to figure it out on the spot half the time.
True.
See what works, and when all of a sudden it doesn't, you have to adapt.
There we're back at the superpower. And what was it that you were running from? Was it more a situation? Was it the whole lifestyle? Was it like something bigger that was more harder to grasp, or was it something precise that you could like?
I'd say
one thing.
for me it was the lifestyle. Like where I was just wasn't healthy, because as I say, getting burnt out, working 2 jobs, trying to make things work, but getting caught in the same old cycles. So something had to give. So got myself out there as I could.
And you had New Zealand in mind of running towards too, or was it more okay? Where shall I go? New Zealand it is.
A bit of both. I mean, I've wanted to visit New Zealand. I had wanted to visit New Zealand for a while. I felt the pull of Maui. He hooked me from a young age, and somehow my sister, when we were kids, had a painting of Maui's hook, and I was always fascinated by the mythology. So when the time came and I needed a change, I thought, you know what? Why not go to New Zealand? I've got some friends from there. It looks good. I could not have expected how good it is here.
What was your first impression when you arrived here?
Oh, I just got off the plane and could immediately just feel the spirit of the country. It was
It's crazy. I can't put it into words either. It's just this feeling of arrival, and the wind was gushing towards me. I felt this welcoming presence, and I was like,
you can feel the mana of the island.
Absolutely. It was almost that you could grasp it, almost. But I definitely feel the sense of arrival, sense of arriving that you had here. And then how was it? Was the 2.5 years? It's quite a time. Was it all with working holiday visa?
Yeah, still here on the working holiday. I'd initially just got the visa for a year, and thought, because I'm on my English passport. I could extend it by 11 more months if I wanted to. So I kept that option open, but by midway through that first year, I was given a 6-month extension because of a labour shortage from the government. So I stayed here another 6 months, and I thought, you know what, might as well stay another year. And so that brought me up to 2.5, and I'm here.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, and it costs a lot of money and time to get to New Zealand, so I might as well just finish it up.
Yeah, I mean, for the Europeans, it is the other end of the world. Quite literally. The time difference between it, and all the hassle that you also have to come in, even from Nepal, it was quite a journey. Rather just enjoy the time that you have here and really make the most out of it.
Get involved. Yeah.
Oh, that is also good advice, getting involved.
Van life was great, but it lets you see a lot of the country that you would otherwise not see. But it's still important to make one place a base camp and just get your feet wet in the ocean and just really see what it's like to live in one place. And that should be the reason for traveling, not just to say, oh, I've done this, but to actually experience it and live it.
To immerse yourself with the culture, to really be there, to it's crazy how like-minded creatures we travelers are, because Ema basically said the same thing as you, that it's what the her main thing is about is like when you have the traveling to stay at one place to get to know the place, to be really immersed in this thing and not to just rush through the things, but take your time to really appreciate the nature, the little things. And
Exactly, the nature, like the flora and the fauna, but also the culture as well. Because that's probably the main reason why you're traveling. You're just trying to get a taste for how other people live life.
Mm.
And we're all having to figure out how to deal with the same thing, but we all do it in our lovely different ways.
Mm. What is you bothering from the difference on the cultures? For me, like I could directly point out one thing: the coffee.
I was not expecting the coffee culture in New Zealand. That came as a shock.
Like me, I love my afternoon coffee cappuccino, and here it just closes so early. And then also on the weekends when you want to go for a nice cafe and have a nice cake or something, most of the cafes are closed.
They like their coffee, but they like shutting their cafes early, which is, I get it, but like, gosh,
Yeah, just like 1 or 2 more hours. There's just give me the chance of my 4 o'clock coffee.
Yeah, but at least you know when you can pull up to a BP and get a cappuccino if you want. It's not great, but
Yeah. Same
it's
as
better than just the American drip coffee.
Yeah, true. I think it's for coffees I wouldn't do it a lot. Do you have something where you were like, okay, this is the how to deal with that? Probably the coffee culture also shocked you a little bit, but do you have something else where you had to adapt?
I don't think so. Not really. The biggest adaptation came from me having to adapt to myself, because coming to New Zealand, realizing how laid back it was, it allowed me to breathe, and that was the most surprising thing about it.
That you were able to breathe, or that you took the time to breathe?
That I was able to.
And with breathe, you mean take your time, get like some momentum out of the system?
Yeah,
or?
like I think just it's probably traveling in general, because you're not set to a schedule and you're not beholden unto one place, unless you choose to be. Then you've got that freedom to do kind of what you want. If one place just isn't serving you, no holds barred, you head off, go somewhere else.
I don't quite grasp what you mean with breathing. Or that you were able to
For me personally, it was just when I did find that one place to settle down, it didn't have all the like the deadlines and hard responsibilities that came outside of just learning how to live, and just had one job, 20-minute walk to work, just like a nice chill life for a little bit.
So it was more like getting a little bit slower, getting a certain rhythm into it, that you had the time to breathe in between the tasks you had to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that
Or at least learning that's what I needed to do, because sometimes even when you're faced with the chance to do it, you're not always going to do it.
True. Oh, I think it was in Scrubs. I can't imagine that Scrubs was helpful at one point in my life, but it was. JD is in the operation room and he can't handle the stress, and he's like, really, fuck, what I'm going to do. And Elliot was the name of the other sister. Well, his girlfriend and whatever, and she tells, well, just breathe. You stand in the operation and just take the 1 second to breathe and focus, and then they made it look like with the Flash where he can like do everything at once.
Yeah.
But it was in the time where I was in school and I had struggle to focus and to really set my focus, especially in exams. And then I tried it out and just took a deep breath, and it helped so much. And really just literally taking this one little breath to detach yourself from this situation you're in and to like be more the observer.
Yeah, just to settle into the moment.
Yeah, and when you are able to put that in or implement that in your life, I think it's definitely worth.
Easier said than done, but that's what it's practice.
It's always so easy to throw around with those cool tricks and tips that can improve the life, but in reality everyone has to like find it out for themselves. And to like, for me meditation helps, but I can't really be able to do it every day in the moment. But I do know that it's like working for me. But then again, for other friends, they can't sit still. Like if I say to them like just meditate, that would be like kind of wrong, because they're like, I tried meditation, it's not working for me. And
That's the point. Like, you're not going to be good at it to begin with. Yeah, the whole point of meditation practice is to practice beginning again. So you get distracted. Good. Start again. It's not that's the whole point. You have to let your thoughts drift while not identifying with them. It's just watching them. Easier said than done, but when you realize you get caught up in the stream of thoughts, just start again, take that breath, then like focus back on the breathing.
I do like to talk with you, Alex. It's always revelating. The words that you use are quite piercing. It's you do know how to phrase simple things in a precise way, also complicated things in a really precise way, which is.
I try my best.
Thank you. I mean, me as a non-native speaker, I do have sometimes my struggles in really phrasing the things that I have pictured in my head and want to put out there in the world, and then it comes out a little that no one can understand. Alright, we are almost at 20 minutes. I would say we're good at halftime. So we continue with the second question. What does happiness or freedom, or both, mean to you right now in this chapter of your life?
That's a good question. I don't know. So yeah, happiness to me would be serenity. Just the Stoics say, only really concentrate on and put your focus on the things that you can control, which is not a lot, but you can control your responses to things. You can't control your feelings when they arise, but you can control how you respond to your feelings.
True. I think you have to explain serenity for me again. Like, would it be something like bliss, or how would you describe serenity?
I wouldn't, maybe not quite bliss, but just almost like a peacefulness.
Like when you have the sunset or sunrise and you embrace that moment, that would be a serenity moment?
Yeah, so I mean, this is also echoed, like that idea that the Stoics put forward is also echoed in the Serenity prayer. So, God, give me the serenity, or universe, give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's just give me that kind of peace of mind to see what I can do, what I can't do, and just let me have that peace of mind to know which one's which.
Alright, I think I get it. For you, true happiness is this moment of serenity, where you choose what problems you can deal, or not problems, but how to act in those situations, and that you walk
Yeah.
to life.
So even if your life could be going to absolute hell in a handbasket, you can still kind of sit there and understand how it got you there, and also what you can do from there. And it's just kind of the acceptance of a situation, the understanding that there will always be forces outside of your control, but you can only focus on this small portion that you can.
And would freedom interact with this serenity for you, or is it something else?
I'd say just freedom is just the ability to make choices and to say improve your number of choices, to let yourself have the best choices you can have, and just not feeling beholden to having to make one choice over another. I mean, sometimes you will have to, but that again, if that is the case, it's outside of your control.
You just have to be wise enough to acknowledge and know that it is out of your control and that it's not worth it to be upset about it.
Yeah, so then that gives you a freedom from that choice. I don't know, it's a mixture between like a freedom to do things and a freedom from doing other things.
How would you say is it best to achieve this serenity, or how are you trying to, or how do you go through life to achieve this serenity, or this happiness?
It would be for trying to accept life on life's terms sometimes, because as I said, you can't fight certain things, and the more you try to fight them, the more effort you waste and still gain nothing. So it's just learning to have that peace of mind, realizing, okay, maybe I can't do this, and that's okay.
Would you say that in the situations that you were in where you had to acknowledge, okay, I can't do that you took still something out, that you went out stronger than before, or was it more some feeling of defeat that you had after acknowledging, no, I can't do that?
It's a process. It goes from a defeat to a situation where just if you don't identify with the defeat, it won't have that power over you. But you can still use it as a learning experience.
So to always get back up to acknowledge the parts that pulled you down, but not to let yourself be pulled down by them for all eternity, but to
to just let yourself be humbled.
It's so hard to ask some follow-up questions or something, because you basically sum up your answers to my questions so well. It's like, what I'm going to ask next, what is interesting for the audience. Sometimes I think it would also be cool that I have like some audience like speaking through the phone, ask this question next. I ran out of good questions, so I just look at my smart book to ask you another question that is interesting. I'm so glad that I wrote some stuff down for moments like this. What is something that you let go of that made room for peace and clarity?
You know what? For me, it had to be alcohol. It was not. I was not peaceful nor clear. In like, especially internally, and yeah, 2 months sober, and learning to. Oh, thank you. It's just learning to be with your thoughts because you can't escape them, which is fun. But so you just have to learn how to roll with them. They just allow yourself to feel the emotions, but once again, not to
Be the observer, acknowledge them, but don't
let them
lean into them.
Yeah, let them wash over you, but not get sucked under.
Do you have good practices for, or that one practice that helped you?
Still working on it, but now at least it takes a solid 3 business days to get past through an emotion, which is cool. But hey, certainly beats drinking about it.
Sure. How was your experience here in a hostel with the other people while they are drinking to drink your tea?
I just had my tea. It was all good.
Yeah, right. Like I have to say, I had situations where I was like really uncomfortable with my non-drinking, but here everyone is so supportive and it's like really completely fine with it and not trying to, oh, come on, have a beer, one beer won't hurt you.
Like that definitely, it was definitely a good thing at the beginning of this whole journey. But yeah, let's have a nice little tea at the end of the evening, or 2 or 5.
Yeah, that's what I like about the mate cup. I can just refill it the whole time and then I'm sitting on it.
Mate is great for that.
Mm-hmm. Also, as a new way of smoking the cigarette, I don't really hold it, but I think that would be the next inhalation of the cigarette.
Yeah.
Oh, but I will get there, especially when I'm in the resort and I'm clear of mind and conscious and smoking all the bad stuff as well. Oh, well, I don't want to say bad stuff. It's not for me. I think
Understandable.
if most times I also had this kind of put it as an entity, this evil thing that is trying to control me, and that did not work out. You just see it as it's like it's this one thing that I can be using or it can use me, but I have to like take the side and not make this huge bad thing out of it.
No.
Because then I'll just give whatever it is more power over me.
Exactly.
No, it's this one type cute little thing like, what do you need alcohol? You bye bye. I don't need to.
It's an interesting one, but once you have to choose, you're like, yo, we're not good anymore. We're incompatible.
Did you have moments before, or was it really before after those 2 months that you had like a hard cut, or was there this moment where it's okay, I don't want to have this relationship with alcohol anymore?
Oh yeah, it's definitely been building up to that. So I think probably about 6 months ago, I was thinking, right, it's about time I finally did something, but it's difficult when you work in hospital and it's all around you. So you just have to get out of an unhealthy situation.
What if someone is in this situation but is so stuck up that it's really hard for him or her to like pull the brakes and get out because basically all their life is this situation that they're in? Would you still recommend to like get out of there because it's basically all they know?
I mean, there is always help if you think that you've got a problem with it, and you don't have to completely up and move. because of this. I mean, yeah, sometimes that's the case, but you just have to learn how to stop associating or like letting yourself be around common people, places, or things that are going to cause you to repeat old habits.
Mm. Do you have something when you see one of those habits arise that you're like, okay, I bite my tongue, or some mechanism to like stop you to like have this break in your week?
Yeah, that's why people recommend, or they say, I'll replace an addiction with another addiction. Like, instead of, when you get bored, instead of going to the pub, you go exercise, or you read, or you finally get back into a hobby that you haven't been able to do.
Mm.
Or that you've been wanting. Yeah. You just replace it with something else. It's, I mean, A, keeping busy, but B, exploring the other avenues of life.
Mhm. Yeah, isn't it also smarter or a good approach if you more focus on the good things? Like having the new hobby is more just that you do the new hobby and you forget about the stuff you quit instead of focusing on the quitting. Because when you're focusing on the quitting, you're thinking about the stuff you want to quit.
Yeah.
While when you just
It's all in the mindset of how you do it. And as you said, you don't focus on the quitting when you're doing these things. You have to do them for the sake of doing. It just so happens that you're cutting out this other part of it. But you don't need to worry about that. It's both on being able to enjoy what you do.
I think like I'm always trying to find good snippets for the interview that I can put out. And I think you already had like 6 or 7 really good quotes. So I'm like, okay, I'll just cut a little bit out there and put that on Instagram. That is working. Right. So thank you for your wisdom or sharing your wisdom. What is your main difference between wisdom and knowledge? Or how would you describe the difference between wisdom and knowledge?
I mean, they say knowledge is knowing the tomato is a fruit. Knowledge is not putting it in a fruit salad. Like, yeah.
Number 8, another snippet.
No, this knowledge is accruing information. Wisdom is knowing how to use it.
Mm. And in this modern world, would you rather say wisdom or more knowledge is one better? That's another good question. Where would you say it should be the focus, should lay the focus on gaining wisdom or knowledge in this modern world?
I think we're lacking a lot of wisdom in this modern world. I don't think I need to elaborate on that.
I think everyone can think their parts.
Yeah. Just because we have all this knowledge doesn't mean we're putting it to good use.
The snippets there, uh, mm, do you think that a computer can be wise? Or like an AI? Basically, they're just chunks of a lot of knowledge that they can access. So could some wisdom come out of an artificial intelligence?
It depends what you're asking it, I suppose. Because at the moment they're all these language models. I don't really know much about AI to comment too much, but they're a glorified search engine. They go trawl the web for what they think is in relation to the question or the prompt that you've given it, and it will spit an answer back out. and it depends what you're asking. It's fairly biased. Yeah, I wouldn't say we have yet to worry about an AI becoming the next big philosopher, but I don't know. They said man would never get to the moon, and I think in like 30 years they got to the moon.
Yeah, the thing that we are evolving at a rate with is, I think, exponentially. The more technology we gain, the faster it's going to become with the size of the computers. In the beginning, they were like these huge rooms, and
Yeah,
now they're all phone is like a supercomputer that is better than the computer 10 years ago, or maybe 20.
I don't know. Well, until we get past the point of AI being a hallucinating computer, I'm not sure what it can do.
Hmm. If you picture the future, do you picture AI in it, or is it more like an advanced version, or how do you
Oh,
picture?
for my own peace of mind, I stopped trying to picture the future. Just roll with the punches, baby. That's all that's part of the Serenity. There's not much I can do about that.
Mm.
As long as I take care of my days and do what I need to do to make myself right with the world, I'll figure it out.
All right, just for the sake of it, in like 100 years, you're not alive. It's not bothering you or anything. Do you think the world will be this dystopian kind of, whatever? Do you have some Star Wars galaxy in mind? We're now by part of some federation, or
Oh, God, no. Even though that would be nice, no, I don't have that much hope for us. I could see us bombing each other back to the Stone Age before that ever happens.
yeah.
But at least in the Star Trek universe, they had to do that before they got to the whole USS Enterprise and all that.
True. Oh, I love how basically the Vulcanians first wanted just to fly past our planet because we're too retarded and we're like too far back behind on the knowledge. So they wanted to like, they're still in this Stone Age. We let them deal with themselves.
Good old Falcons.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Yes. Oh. Thank you, Dad. That was one of the best things. Was the how is it called? The bad luck for the Klingons. The one episode where they're stuck in this time loop, and then they're like the whole time realizing time for themselves again and again. Oh, absolutely love that. All right, I think we are coming to yes, 40 minutes. And once that is perfect, I think I'm somehow getting the hang of it when we can, how long the interviews are going to be, because longer than an hour, I think it is too much.
Yeah.
So, if you could give one piece of soulful advice to someone standing on the edge of change, what would that advice be?
Do it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And even though everything is change, you just have to go with the pain of changing when it's not as great as the pain of not changing or something like that. When the pain of changing hurts less than the pain of not changing, just go with it. Just take that dive. It'll work out in ways you won't think.
Thank you. I don't have anything to add to that. Is there anything else that you want to share with me or the audience?
Nah.
All right, sweet. Then stay curious, stay grounded, and stay true to who you are. And thank you very much for this great interview.
You're welcome.